Hello and welcome to the monthly goal setting session. I'm going to share my screen and take you through each part of the workbook. So first of all, let yourself be nice and quiet. Have what we call a resilience pause. Think about the past month and what you want to get out of the next month. It's just nice and quiet. Sit back in your chair if you can and feel the back of the chair against your back and the seat, the chair under your legs. And if it's comfortable for you to do, take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. This little interlude allows us to leave whatever we've been doing behind. Just take a small break before we start into the goal setting, so that we're coming at it fresh and not with today's baggage and clutter. Just leave all that behind. And set in your mind the intention. You're going to focus on your goal setting for about the next hour. When you're ready, come back into the room, open your eyes if you closed them, and then look over the past month. What worked well for you last month and why? And when you think about it, I'm going to write my answers too. You can either print the sheet out, or if you have a notebook, just write it in your notebook. And this can be in your personal life, it can be your work life, social life, whatever it is, the goals that you want the most work on, whatever circle. If you've ever done the circle of life and decided which areas you need to work on, your finances, your relationships, whatever. So this is about you and your goals. And then what didn't work well last month and why? And we'll move on to, what was your biggest achievement last month? This is something we're not very good at, is celebrating our achievements. So what was your biggest achievement last month? And what did you celebrate? Sometimes this is different. Achievements are things that you've done for yourself, giving up smoking, finished reading a certain book, went and did that job interview, went out with friends. In these very strange times we're in, going out for friends for dinner can be a big achievement. What did you celebrate? It can be birthday, Christmas, Halloween, birth of a child, so it can be slightly different. However, I would really strongly recommend that you celebrate your achievements as well, because we let our brain know then what it is that we want to achieve. And we let our bodies know how good that kind of thing can feel. So a pat on the back, a dance in the kitchen, a woohoo, whatever applies to you. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a bottle of champagne or anything. Little things, just taking a curtsy, saying, well done me. That really lets our brain know, oh, we like this feeling and we want more of that feeling, and let's go after this. So what did you celebrate? What challenges did you face? How did you overcome them? What haven't you done yet? What did you have on your monthly goal setting from last month that you just haven't got around to? You haven't found time for, or sometimes you don't have the skills. What haven't you done yet? What stopped you? And then when you're ready, obviously you can pause this whenever you need. Part 2, looking ahead to this month. What still has to happen? What are your priorities for this month? What comes first, next? When will you start this? What if this doesn't happen? What do you want to improve upon? What resources or support do you need? And these can be physical or they can be people. It could be, for me right now with my website, it might be an IT expert, somebody who knows how to do websites, or it might be physical leaflet or a printer or a computer or a massage, whatever it is that you need. What strengths do you have that will help you? Part 3, goal setting. So my smarter goals for this month are listed below. Smarter is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound, ecological, and resource building. So specific, if we were to talk about weight reduction, fat reduction might be, I am going to reduce my weight by 4 pounds in the next month. I hesitated at the language around that because I don't want anybody's worth to be defined by the scales, and the scales are not the thing that we should be relying on all the time. We should be relying on how we feel and how our clothes feel, and do we have more energy, and are we sleeping more, etc. But we'll go with this because people will understand it. So that's specific. You've given yourself an absolute target. Of you broken it down and into measurable. It's measurable because by the end of the month, sometimes it would be good to put a date in there, like the 31st of September, because if we say by the end of the month, we can come back and go, oh, well, I'm at next month or next week, or I'll start on Monday, and then Monday never comes. Achievable, £1 a week. Yeah, that's achievable. Realistic, absolutely realistic. Time bound, yeah, you've given yourself a date and it's measurable because you can get on the scales. Ecological means, does it fit with all of you? Is it something that you actually want to do and you feel good about? Because sometimes we set ourselves goals that we never ever achieve because it doesn't feel right, it doesn't sit well with us. So something like I need to make a whole lot of money, so my goal is to get a job in something that sells plastic that's been tested on animals. It's very popular. Well, that wouldn't sit well with me because I don't like selling. I don't mind people coming and buying from me because that shows they want my services, but I don't necessarily like selling, that hard sell. I have a thing about plastic. I know I'm surrounded by plastic all the time, but I try to avoid it when I can. I definitely don't like things that are tested on animals. So even if I got that job, I wouldn't last very long in it. I would make myself uncomfortable in it because I wouldn't sit well with me. So that's what we mean by ecological. It has to sit well with you. And then resource building, for me, a good example would be walking. So the more we do it, the longer we can do it and the better we become at it. So if we started out today at, say, 2,500 steps, we would add, possibly 500 steps. And then the next time, the next week, 500 more. So that we build up to our 10,000 steps a day over a period of time. That's resource building, because the more we do it, the fitter we become, and therefore the more we're able to do. And that's resource building. So those should be in your goals. So you need to write them out in that specific way to try and help you then contain them and say, and sometimes, you know, it's lovely to have great big goals that scare the bejeepers out of us. It is great, but you've got to break them down. So sometimes it's nice to have your goals to be quite tight and quite small on what you're going to do this month. So for me, I kind of do a vision board, and that's my like 5-year plan. But my monthly stuff is just about what I can actually achieve this month, not the big vision board stuff. You don't want to sabotage yourself and set yourself up to fail by making it, you know, I'm going to make £1 million. Unless that is something you can do in a month, knock your socks off. But if it's not achievable for you, then don't put it down as a monthly goal. Monthly goals are about what you can achieve in the month. I've left you space for 5 goals, but you can have 1, 2, 3, maybe one for each area. So 1 might be your business or career, 2 might be personal development, 3 could be relationships, 4 could be finances, and 5 could be health and well-being. It's entirely up to yourself. So then we take each individual goal and we look at our actionable steps. Next actionable steps. This is really important. There's no point in having this goal and it's sitting and we come back to it next month and it's still there. If we break it down into what are the actionable steps I can take today or tomorrow or whatever within the next week, then we can keep coming back to that, like almost like a to-do list. Your next actionable steps. They have to be written out as actionable steps. So something like website. You might write website on a to-do list, knowing for yourself that it means you have to go on and put content onto your website. But in this, we're actually being that specific, and we're saying I am going to video record this course and upload it to my website by, and give yourself a date. And the date, and maybe not even the date by, but sometimes it's a date on Tuesday, the 4th. I am going to record the video. So it is a to-do list, but write it out. Don't put post office. If it's buy 100 stamps in the post office for the business, that's what we write out as actionable steps. And then what are the first 3 steps you need to take towards your most important goal? And then we repeat this process for each of the other goals. Okay, and then just continue. And what is your why? Did I have that up there? Did I have that up there? What is your why? Your why is very, very important. Why do you want to achieve this goal? If we don't have a big enough why, we will go off track. And remembering our why can bring us back on track very, very quickly. So if it's to be healthier so that you can play with your grandchildren, visualizing yourself playing with your grandchildren and being healthy will bring you back to taking whatever action it is that you need to take to remain healthy or to become healthy, whatever it is. If, like me, you're in the helping industry and it's about helping people, visualizing yourself helping people and seeing them achieve what it is they want to achieve. If they come to you to resolve an issue and you help them with all the skills and abilities that you have and you teach them and they're able to resolve those issues, the feeling that you will get from that, from them growing into themselves, will help you to come back onto track that bit quicker. So your why is extremely important in all of these actionable steps. We'll give you a bit more time to do that. So thinking about your goals now that you've set for yourself, what might stop you? How will you plan for this or avoid it? What will you do differently this month? What would you like to do more of this month? What resources do you need to achieve your goal? And again, this could be coaches, paper, pens. So it could be physical resources or people. Pardon me, your next actionable steps. This one I like to detach from the back of the booklet and put it on my fridge so that I can see it every day. And I write this bit out in pencil because this is your to-do list. This is your next actionable steps. This is the stuff that you would be saying for goal 1, today I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. For goal 2, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then you can come along and rub it out and the next day and say, right, today I'm going to do, because you should be going one step further. And sometimes, yeah, I get that you can't do everything daily. Maybe if you're waiting on something coming back from the printers, or you're waiting on your IT person to do their bit. But as soon as that comes back, then you can go to your to-do list, stroke it through, then rub it out and write in the next action. So that's your last step. I wish you all, and I've only given you space for 3, but you can go on and do more. I wish you all the very best with your monthly. Come back every month and go through this wee video again. I'll be here. And this really keeps you on track and helps you to achieve your goals. Take care. Bye-bye.